I now want to resume by making additional disclosures of a few more shreds of facts about South Korean President Moon Jae-in's criminal violations of the U.S. and UN imposed economic sanctions against North Korea. Shred number 1 of facts. Korea's president, evil and crafty Moon Jae-in, made requests to leaders of several U.S. allied countries that belong to G20 international coalition, such as France, Germany, Italy, and Canada, to count only a few, to have a diplomatic conference with Moon Jae-in himself, and when he met up with them, he begged these leaders to end or terminate each of these nations' own implementation of the U.S. and UN-led economic sanctions against North Korea. This happened shortly before and shortly after attending the 2018 G20 Economic Summit held in Buenos Aires, the capital of Argentina. Moon Jae-in did so with a strong intent to undermine the main purpose and the effectiveness of the sanctions. To the leaders of these nations, Moon Jae-in was automatically supposed to be the forefront commanding leader in supporting the U.S. and UN's international sanctions. Enforcement agencies' effort to ensure all of U.S. allied nations to the leaders of these nations, G20 nations, Moon Jae-in was automatically expected and supposed to be the forefront runner and commanding leader in supporting the U.S. and UN's international sanctions enforcement agencies' effort to ensure all of the UN member nations unwavering participation and cooperation in implementing and executing the economic sanctions against North Korea, because these leaders knew that South Korea people would be the first casualties of the war, of a possible war, if the big fat ugly monstrous pig, Kim Jong-un, ever choose to launch nuclear or biochemical artilleries out of his uncontrollable, compulsive judgment, or out of his ill-intended, evil, and curious mindset. Because President Moon Jae-in was doing exactly opposite of what those G20 nations leaders expected him to do by asking them to dismantle the effectiveness of the sanctions. They not only refused to pay heed to Moon Jae-in's sleazy voice, but instead rebuked him for making such an uncooperative suggestion, and started perceiving him as a mouthpiece of Kim Jong-un's evil regime as well. Basically, he inadvertently revealed his hidden true identity as a puppet, brainless or bird-brained puppet hired and commissioned by North Korea's Kim Jong-un to advocate for him so as to help him survive the harsh and strictly enforced economic sanctions. The sanctions painful blows to his already crumbling and feeble economy. Shred number 2 of pure facts, not of any rumor or speculations. In late August 2018, to be exact, on August 24th, 2018, the U.S. Department of State caught illegal activities by some Korean government employees secretly transporting in a smuggling stunt massive amount of goods such as tons of oil, petroleum oil, hundreds of megawatts of electricity, and many gas-powered power generators that Kim Jong-un claimed he desperately needed for operations and maintenance of the Inter-Korea Communication Center complex in the city of Kaesong in North Korea. These South Korean government employees were caught in this illegal activities of smuggling all these goods to North Korea, to North Korea's big fat ugly pig's hands, without obtaining an approval or permission from the U.S. Department of State and UN International Sanctions Enforcement Agency. In addition to the U.S. and UN approved shipments of the same goods, such as tons of irons, coppers, nickels, and many gas-powered boiler systems. 115 million megawatts of electricity and 130,000 US dollar worth of petroleum oil that occurred in June and July of the same year, 2018, and notified South Korean government after catching them in those illegal smuggling activities into North Korea. The agency notified South Korean government officials of these violations of the anti-North Korean economic sanctions by some South Korean energy production corporations employees, and issued a stern warning against any planned additional smugglings of similar goods over to North Korea.